Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all in 30 days internship on IoT project development using industry grade microcontroller. Yesterday, we saw that the important libraries which required to integrate ESP8266 with Firebase Cloud. So today, what we will do, we will just revise those libraries and the version, and then we will start with the today's session. So let me just open the Arduino. So yesterday we talked about three important libraries which are required to integrate ESP8266 with Firebase. The first library is ESP8266 Wi-Fi.h. It will automatically install when you install the board ESP8266 board from Board Manager. We already have seen how to install this ESP8266 board. Okay. So second library is Firebase Arduino.h, Firebase Master Arduino. Okay. To install this library, we have to download the first zip library from the Google, and then we have to add from Sketch, include library and manage library. And from here, add zip library. Okay. And the third library, which is not we have included, but the in Firebase Arduino.h, it has used at the background. Okay. So to install this library, Arduino JSON, we just have to go to Sketch, include library, and manage libraries. And then you just have to type JSON. Okay. And the very important thing we talked is which version to install of JSON and the ESP8266 board, because other than these versions of libraries and board will not support Firebase platform, Firebase cloud platform. So the version of these libraries is very important. The first one is JSON. Okay. You can see here this library JSON by Benoit, Arduino JSON by Benoit, and just install this version 5.13.2. Okay. And the board version is ESP8266 2.5.2. Okay. Today we are going to learn how to interact with Firebase Cloud, Firebase real-time database, and from where we can collect these credentials. You can see the hash defined Firebase host, Firebase authentication auth. Okay. These credentials are required to interact with the Firebase real-time database. So first of all, what we will do, we'll just go to files, select examples, and from examples, we will select the pre-written example, which will automatically add in the example section when you install Firebase Arduino master library. Okay. Just click on Firebase Arduino and select demo. I will just close the previous code. Okay. Now we just have selected the pre-written code, which is from the examples. Now what we will do, uh, we will collect the first all the required credentials to interact with the real-time database of Firebase. So we are going to need four things here. First one is Firebase host, which is the example is given. We have to just copy that from Firebase. Second one is authentication database secret key. Okay, you have to put that database secret key here. And third and fourth is SSID is name of your Wi-Fi or the mobile hotspot and the password of that Wi-Fi or mobile hotspot. Okay. So what we will do first, we will just check the code is written is correct and all the required libraries are installed properly. So for that reason, we will just compile. If the everything is correct, our compilation will be successful. While it is compiling, I will again show you from where to take this example. Just go to File, go to Examples, Firebase Arduino, and select just Demo. Okay. The examples will be Firebase Arduino example will be added when you install this library. Okay. Now compilation is done. That means all the required libraries are installed properly. So what we will do? We will first collect this credential. The first one is Firebase host. To collect this, we will go to Firebase. This is our console of Firebase, and you can see here this link URL. You have to copy this. Okay, just click here, go to this icon and click here and press Ctrl C, or you can just right click on it and copy. And what you have to do, you have to go to Arduino again, just select this text, delete it, and right click and paste, or else you can just Ctrl V. After this, always remember to remove this last slash and the HTTPS part and double slashes part. Okay, you always have to remove this part of the URL. Else, the data will be not sent to the real-time database. Okay, it will give you error. It will not give you actually error, but data will be not sent to Firebase. Okay, so always remember to remove the end slash and the HTTP part from the Firebase host. I will just show you again. I will just Control Z. You have to remove after copying and pasting. You have to remove this slash and this part before the IoT interface name of your project. Okay, fantastic. The first credential, which is host, has collected. Now, second credential is authentication, which is database secrets. This. From where you can get this? Just go to Firebase again. Go to settings. You have to click on this settings icon. Go to project settings. One new window will appear. And from there, you have to go to service accounts. Okay. And here you can see that database secrets. You have to click on this icon. Just click it. After clicking, you can see the database secret will appear. You have to click on show, and then after just have to copy this. Have to click on this icon, copy secrets. Okay. After copying the secrets, you have to select this text, delete it, and paste it here. The hash defined syntax is like this. Hash define the variable and the whatever the data type you put here will assign to this variable. Okay. So data type here is string data type. After that, SSID. The SSID for my mobile hotspot is project. So I will put it over here. The password is computer12345. It may be different for your Wi-Fi or the mobile hotspot. So you just have to write what is your credential for Wi-Fi and mobile hotspot. Okay. And whenever you are creating new project or new real-time database in your project on Firebase, it will create every time new Firebase host ID, URL, and the database secrets. Okay. You can create multiple database secrets also. Okay, I have put it perfectly. Okay, only these four things are required to interact with the real-time database. Now we are enabled to send and receive data from Firebase. Now what I will do, I will just upload this code, but there is still one problem that our data will not be uploaded on the real-time database. I will be discussing about that. It will show on serial monitor that data setting failed. Okay, I will talk about the reason and how to fix it. I will just first upload this code. Always remember to check the board you have selected correctly, Node MCU 12E module, ESP12E, and the port. Okay. I have not connected the ESP8266. Just quickly, I will connect the ESP8266. Okay, now you can see COM port 5 has appeared here. I will click on upload again. Always check before uploading your code, you have selected the correct board and the port. Now everything is correct. Uploading has started. I will start my mobile hotspot with the same credentials which I have written here, SSID and hotspot password. Okay, the uploading has done. Now I will open the serial monitor. Okay, it is connected to the Wi-Fi and it is showing setting number failed. It is not able to send the data to the Firebase real-time database. The reason is, I will talk shortly about the reason. There is one concept called server authentication. In that, our client, which is ESP8266, creates the trust between server and the client. That's why, that is the reason we need server authentication. And the server authentication is done using one fingerprint key. Okay, so it is called a fingerprint key. So I'll just remove it. Okay, and that fingerprint key, what does Firebase does every in periodically for security reasons, they change this fingerprint key. Okay, so you have to, what you have to do, you have to keep it updated every time if you want to interact with the Firebase. If you are using the previous, which is not in active mode, fingerprint key, and you are still using it, it will not, you will be not able to interact with the Firebase. So you always have to update your fingerprint key. I will show you how to update it. Okay, you just how to minimize this, just go to this computer, and in documents you will find one directory, Arduino directory. In that you have to go to libraries, and in that you have to find this install library which we have installed externally. We added zip file, if you remember. Firebase Arduino master. You have to double click on it. Go to source src and select this file. You can see Firebase http client.h. You have to right click on it and just open with any editor. And you can see here K finger Firebase fingerprint. Okay, you can see here this. This is the fingerprint. It's like a shadow of a server authentication certificate. Okay, RA certificate. So I will show you, you have to update it if it is, your data setting is showing failed. So you have to just remember, you have to update it. This is expired fingerprint key. To update this fingerprint key, you have to go to Google and type GRC SSL. Okay, just type this and hit enter. After that, open the first link. Okay, you can see the fingerprints. This website we can use for selecting the updated fingerprint key. Okay, so you just have to type here test. I already have a type test dot firebase. Please keep in mind, remember this URL. Okay, test dot, or you can write it down somewhere, test dot firebase io.com. Always remember this, test.firebase.io.com. Please write somewhere. Okay, and just have to fingerprint site. Okay, you can see here It is showing the latest updated fingerprint key, which is 50. And in our header file, you can see that it is something else. It starts from 03. It means that it is expired, and the updated version of this fingerprint key is here. Just have to copy this. You can right click to copy or control C. I will just click right click and copy. And after that, you have to go to this library. Don't worry, I will show you again how to find this file and how to edit it. Select this and delete it. After deleting, just control V, right click and paste. Okay. After that, hit control S to save this file, and we will just minimize this. I'll just close it. And what we will do, we will again upload the code and see what happens. I have connected ESP again, COM port 5. Okay. I have turned on my hotspot, mobile hotspot. Okay, uploading is done. Now we'll check. Connected. See, the number setting has not failed appeared here. Okay, that means our data, we are not interacting with real-time database. We have pushed some data on real-time database. We can just observe that from here. Just go to real-time database. Now you can see that some logs and message has appeared here. Okay, I'll just open the logs. You can see this number is changing. This changing is means that ESP8266 is sending some data. Okay. So now what we will do, we will again, I will just stop the ESP8266. Again, we'll just delete this data from the real-time database so we can observe or monitor in real time. Okay. Now what I will do, I will just go to again that file so you can understand from where to find this file. To change the fingerprint key, you have to go this PC, locate the documents, go to Arduino and libraries, just select Firebase Arduino master and source. After selecting that, go to source and select this file, Firebase HTTP client.h. You can write the name of this file. Just right click on it and open with any editor. Okay. After that, what we will do, I'll just make something change in this fingerprint. Okay. I'll just change last. I'll change last digits like K and JH. Okay, I have changed this fingerprint with the original one. So I will just save it. Now we will get that error same again. Okay. The reason I'm doing this to show you that the only reason behind data setting failed is this fingerprint key. I forgot to connect ESP8266. We have changed the original updated version of fingerprint with something else. We just changed some characters from the last. Now we will check if data is updating or not. We will again get the data setting failed because we have put the wrong fingerprint key. Okay, so always remember that when this error will appear, data setting failed. See, you can observe here again, setting number failed. Okay, so remember that whenever you get this error, just always update your fingerprint key, and to update it, just have to go to type GRC. I'm doing these steps again and again so that you can remember and understand. GRCSSL. Hit enter. Open the first link and go to here and type this test.firebase.io.com. Okay, this fingerprint will appear here. It is just copy it and paste it here. Control V. Okay, in double quotes you have to put this updated version of fingerprint key. Always remember to put semicolon also and hit Control S to save this file, and I will just close it now. I will again upload it and then we will continue with the next part. Now you can see that Firebase screen is empty. I will just delete it. Okay. Done compiling. It has been connected and we will just open Firebase. See, the data is being updated on real-time database. We will see other data also, string, logs. Okay, so everything is working correctly because we have updated the latest version of fingerprint. Now we will proceed with the next part. You can see that this is the raw data. I will make changes in the sketch. What I will do, I will just delete everything from the while loop. And we will just put some random data, the data we want to put. Okay? For example, anything, a number or string. What we will do, we will put first one string. Okay, to send a string to a real-time database, what you can do, you just have to type Firebase dot set. If you want to send the string from ESP8266 to Firebase, you have to type set string, Firebase dot set string. S is capital. Okay. And you have to put double quote, semicolon. Okay. After that, you have to provide the path to real-time database, means the branch. Okay, we yesterday talked about the JSON data format. Okay, what we will do, the first argument in this function or the object is the path to JSON directory, and the second is the data we want to put. Okay, the data is, we want to put, for example, IoT internship. Okay, this is a string data type, and I want to put it in data slash. It will create, when I put a slash in front of a string in this first argument, it will create one another branch. Okay, I will write data and the name. Okay, I'll just do that, and after that I will, what I'll do, I'll just give some delay. and I will upload it again. Okay, sorry, I forgot to connect the ESP8266. COM port is selected. Just have to click on the upload. This function firebase dot set string is used to write string data on real-time database to this branch. Okay, this JSON branch, a date slash name. Okay, it will write this data in front of this JSON file. Okay, this JSON branch. We'll check how it works. We'll go to it will appear here. It will create one directory here, JSON directory we can call it, data, and that you can see here. It has appeared here. As soon as it get connected to the Wi-Fi, it created ESP8266 created one new directory called named data, and in that it created a new branch named name, and in that put the data string data, which is IoT internship. Okay. After this, what we will do, we will take another example of setting. I will set the new string also here. And what I will do, I will just copy this, Control C, and put it here. Now what I want to do, I want to put some integer data type here. So I'll create new branch to the same root branch, which is data, and new branch will be named value. I will create value branch, new branch. Okay, and in that what I want to do, I want to put some random integer. Okay, integer must be not put in double quotes. So what I will do, I'll just use the function random. Okay, I will not use the random function. I will just put some integer data. For example, 12. I'll put the 12. And after that, I'll give another. I will take the example of another function, which is set float. Okay, I have to change this set string to set int. Okay, because we are sending integer data type. Whenever we are sending string data type, we have to use this function set string. Whenever you are sending the integer data type, you have to use this function firebase dot set int. Okay, and after that I will give delay of 1 second. And what I will do now, I want to put some float data type. I can put boolean data type also, true, false. We will take the 3 examples, and I will just float. Okay, and I'll change the directory. You cannot write these same data to the same branch, so I will just change it to value float value float. What I will do, I will create one another branch, so can you better understand how it works. I'll create another branch, and I will name it data. Sorry, number. Okay, and in that you have to give float data type. So float is something like 33.76. And what we will do now, we'll just upload this code to ESP8266 and see what happens. I'll just delete previous data. What I will do, I will just pause. I'll stop it. Before uploading the code, I will delete everything. And then we will upload our code to ESP8266. Now we will upload the ESP8266 code. Hit enter, upload. I will just repeat it again. To send string data type to real-time database, you have to use set string. You have to give path or the branch name or the directory name of JSON directory here. And the second argument is string data type. The Firebase, whenever you want to send integer data type, you set int the path to directory and in data, whatever your data is integer data here. Okay, and same with the float data type. You just have to use set float. Just check. Now I will turn on my mobile hotspot. It is connected to mobile hotspot. Okay, I will check. See here, we will compare it our database structure with the code we have written here. Okay. The first thing we have written the line is firebase.set string data and the name, and in front of name we have written embedded system. We will check that first. Okay, data, we put the slash in the code, so it created new branch to data called name. In that, it put the data as embedded system because we have written it in our code. Okay, previously it was IoT internship. Next is Firebase set int. Okay, it is also with the same level as this name branch value. Okay, it is with the name. The level of the two branches is same, and the data is well. Next is float. Okay, we'll just compare it again. See here, data slash, okay, data slash float, data slash new branch float slash new branch, okay, number. And see here, so whenever you add in first argument the slashes with the number string data, it will create the number of branches. As many as you put the slashes, it will create number of branches. Okay, so it is very useful when you are putting some multiple data types or the multiple data, for example temperature data, moisture data, conductivity data, light intensity data. Okay, so you can differentiate different data. So you can, what you can do, data underscore value, temperature, moisture, uh, conductivity, light intensity. You can put any data you want, name, age. Okay, this is how it works. So hope you have understood this. And next is what we will do, instead of embedding the some constant values, what we will do, some do the automation something. And instead of this integer, we will change this integer and put the random function which is already available, and we will give the range. So what I am doing here is I'm giving this range 0 to 100 to random function. Now what it will does, it will return some integer data ranging from 0 to 100. Okay, it will take numbers starting from 1 to 99. It will not contain the 0 and the 100. I'll just hit enter, and it will in the loop again and again change the number on Firebase. You can see this number changing again and again. Okay, uploading has done. We'll just check if it connects with the mobile hotspot. Okay, it is connected to mobile hotspot. Now we'll check this and see it is changing. We have not put any delay, so that is the reason it is changing so fast. Okay, if you put some delay in the void loop, it will change slowly. It depends upon your code. Okay, so we have not put any delay. That's why it is changing so fast. Okay, So understand this. This random function will return any random number ranging from 1 to 99, and it will return in this argument. And we are putting this data, uh, random data, into in front of this branch value. Okay? This is what is happening in the real-time database. Okay. So this is how you can work with the functions available in this library. Always remember to update your fingerprint key. Always, whenever you are getting that number setting failed error. Now what I will do, I will just ESP8266. I have disconnected it. As soon as I have disconnected, the number updating will stop. I just disconnected the ESP8266 from my machine. You can see here port COM5 has disappeared from here. Okay, the next part is hmm, what we will do. Before now we have learned how to send data from ESP8266 to real-time database. Okay. Now the next thing is we have to fetch that data back to the ESP8266. Suppose if I change something manually over here, we have to fetch this data back into ESP8266. So we are going to learn this how to fetch that data back to the ESP8266. Okay. So to do that, what I will do, I'll just create one path first, named as Firebase. Firebase dot set string, because I want to put some random string to real-time database. What I will do, I will create one path. You can do it here also. There is already available data type in the Arduino, that is string. You do not have to create character arrays separately. So just type data type string, and I will give it, assign one string to it. The string is, you have to put the path. We have to create the branches. Okay. The first is, what I will do, I will just give data slash and value, or the command. We'll just put command. I have created this path. There are a number of ways you can define a string. There is another way you can define a string. I'll just show you that also. Sorry, extremely sorry. I forgot to add the variable name here. You have to add, always have to add the variable name here, the string. So I will put here path. Okay. So this string will assign to this string variable, which is path. And there is another way you can define the string is, you just have to assign path, write the string, and in that you have to put the string data slash command. These are the two ways you can define a string. I will just use the first one. I'll comment it. Okay. Now we are using this path to set the data we want in ESP86 in Firebase, real-time Firebase. So first argument to the this function is set string is path. Okay. What I will do, I will take this variable and write it here, path, comma. Second is the string. We will just put some random string to ESP. Uh, okay. After this, what we want to do, we want to fetch data from real-time database back to the ESP8266. For that, we have to use this function Firebase dot get. Now, here you can see that you can write the function name also Firebase dot get. If you want to fetch integer data type, you have to write int. If you want to fetch string data type, you have to write string. The same with the float, you just have to write float for here. Okay, so you can retrieve the float data type from the real-time database. Now I want to retrieve some string data type, so I will put string, and this function, this object only takes one argument, which is path. Okay, from that path it will return the data or the value of that path. Okay, what is the path? We just copy this path because we want to copy from, we want to fetch data from that path. I will put here also. What I will do, I will define a string data. Okay, let's understand what we done here. First, we created one path. Okay, the code in the void setup only runs once. Okay, we want to run this lines of codes only once. Okay, so it will initiate the Firebase. It will connect our ESP8266 with the Firebase with the using hot host URL and the authentication database secret key. After that, we have defined one string which is path, and after that we created that branch using this function. So what will happen when this line of code will run? So it will create path, this path data slash command to the real-time database, and it will assign this data in front of command. So we want to do that. And here in void loop, it will run only once. In void loop, what we are doing, we have declared one variable string data, and we are fetching that string data using this function get string, and we have provided the path from which we want to fetch the data. Okay, so what I will do now, I'll just use serial monitor. We are going to talk about what is serial monitor and all. I'll just use it from serial dot print ln, and I will just put this data so we can monitor on the serial monitor. Okay, so data we have fetched from the real-time database. So I will give just a delay of some milliseconds. 500 milliseconds. Okay, we are ready to go now. I will upload this code. Oh, sorry. See the scope. Whenever you are declaring anything inside these two blocks, which is void setup and void loop, you cannot use variables inside, exchange variables inside them. Okay, so I have declared this path over here, and I tried to use here. It will not take. It says that it was not declared. So always remember to declare it globally. Forgot that. Control X, and what I will do, I'll just Control V here. Okay, and upload it again. I will not get any error. Okay, uploading has done. We'll just check. It is connected to ESP. Okay, see what is happening here. I told you that the code which is written in void setup is only runs once. Okay, but we are seeing here that we are writing multiple times ESP8266. It is not writing, but once you have written this code, this data to this path on the Firebase, you can see that command data command to ESP. The void loop, we are reading that again and again, and we are printing that data. So it is once we have put this data, it is reading it again and again. What we'll do, we'll just change this data manually and see what happens. IoT, and I will just hit enter. Now it will print IoT, IoT, IoT every time. You can see here. So what we are doing here right now, in void loop, we are reading get string from that path. What is the path? Data slash command from this branch. See here, data slash this branch. We are reading this data, and after getting that data from this path, we are assigning that data to string data type, which is data, and we are printing it on serial monitor. Serial monitor is here. Now what we will do, we'll just change it again. I'll put something embedded systems. Okay, and we'll check it again. See, our ESP8266 now reading means fetching data from real-time database. Data we are changing in real-time database, but we are fetching that data back to the ESP8266. You can see it here. I'll change it again. Whenever you put this, change the data, now it will read this string. Data change, data change, data change. Okay. For time being, we are doing it manually. But in the future sessions, we are going to change this data from Android application. Okay, we are not going to change it manually so that we can control our ESP8266 from Android application. So we are not going to change any data manually from even from ESP8266 and from Android application. We are going to change only real-time database data using Android application and ESP8266. We are not going to change it manually, just like I did now. Okay. Now we will do one experiment. What we will do? So remember, others remember this function, which is get string. Okay, to fetch the string data from the real-time database. If you want to fetch integer data type, you have to write int. I is capital, int. If you want to retrieve floating point data, you have to write float. Always remember these three important functions. Okay, I will write these 6 functions so you can note it down somewhere. And after that, we will perform one experiment. The first function is Firebase. Firebase dot set string. First argument for set string is path. Second is data. I'm putting some general uh, names so you can understand. I'll just copy it. Control V, Control V. Okay. Please write it somewhere. You are going to need this. Int float. And for the get function, Firebase dot get. If it is string, type string. If you want to fetch the string data type, write get string, and then you have to provide the path from which branch or which directory of JSON data you want to fetch that value. Okay. I'll just copy it. The same with the integer and float. Always remember to assign this function to a variable, respective variable. If you are fetching the string data type, you must assign this to string variable. You must assign this to integer variable. I will just write it. For string data type, this is the syntax. For integer type int small, everything is small. Again, I will put just data. I'll assign data, and a float data. Always remember to assign this function to variables because it is going to return some value depending upon the data type. So keep these 6 functions, the objects in C++. I'm calling it as functions because most of the participants will not understand the object or C++ concept. That is the reason I'm calling it as function. These are not functions, these are the objects we are calling. Okay. After this, what we will do? We'll do one experiment with the knowledge we have just gained. So what we are going to do? We are going to control the inbuilt LED of ESP8266 from real-time database. I will change this to raw, some raw data. That's why I'm changing it. After that, what I will do? I will define LED has defined LED with the D0. The default pin or the inbuilt LED is attached to D0 pin. LED plus D0. And after that, you have to set pin mode of that pin. Okay, type pin mode. First argument to pin mode is in PIC microcontroller. We used to use trace register to change the input or output of any port on the microcontroller. In the Arduino, we use pin mode, and here we have to write the D0, but we have defined as LED, so we will just write first argument is pin number. So LED we will write. The second argument is the input or output. So we want to do it as output. So the output. We have selected the pin mode for D0. And after that, we want to do what we want to do. After this reading data, we are going to compare the commands we are going to send from Firebase to ESP8266. And depending upon those commands, we will turn off or on the LED, default LED on ESP8266. If the condition will be if the data we are going to fetch is data equals to double quote, just 1 second. Okay, we'll check the data we are fetching from real-time database back to the ESP8266 is on. If it is on, what do we want to do? We want to turn on the LED. So to turn on the LED, we have to write data 1 to the that pin. Okay, digital write. To write data on any pin of ESP8266, you have to use this function. Digital write. First argument is pin number, which is LED. We have assigned in initially at global LED, and second is high, HIGH. So here is string data. The Firebase get float. It is not float. We are going to receive the string data type. So we will just put this string because we are comparing string with the string data type. And after that, what we are going to do? We just have to put some data again back to the ESP8266. So it will not change. Firebase. I will explain the logic later. Dot set. Why I'm setting this? Set string, and I'll put first argument as path, the second argument as raw data. I will just copy this and I will just paste it. And instead of if, I will use else. If not this condition, then check for this condition. We'll go for off. Okay. So thing is here, the pin D0 is inverted. Means whenever you write high to that pin, it will actually turn off. It will write 0 data. And when you write low, it will turn on. That is the meaning of inverted. So whenever we want to turn on the light, we must put low here, not the high. And whenever we want to make it low, we have to put it high. Okay, so this pin is inverted. So just understand the logic first, what we are doing here. Initially, we first created this path, which is string data command because we are going to send commands to ESP8266 from real-time database. That's why I've given some logical name here. I've created this path. After creating path, we have connected to the Wi-Fi. This is Wi-Fi related code. And Firebase has initiated from this. We connect ESP8266 from this line. From this line, ESP8266 has connected to the real-time database. After this is the command. I'll just delete it. This line will run, which is Firebase set string, and for this same path we are putting this raw data, okay? Raw string. Okay, in the while loop we are fetching the data, okay, and for infinite times from the same path, which is command, and we are checking this data, assigned data. If it is, we are writing on. If suppose for example we have put the raw data, now it will read from that path, it will receive raw because we have put the already raw, and it will check, compare with the string, data is raw, it will not match, it will again not match here, so it will skip it and again go back. Now if we change this command data manually, we change it to the on or off, our LED will change, LED state will be change. Okay, I will just upload this code. Oh sorry, I'm not connected yet. Okay, COM port 5, and I upload it again. Sorry, misspelled else. I will show you the camera. What you are doing, please write in the chat box if you are able to see the ESP8266. Okay. Now you can see that this LED is already in the high state. Okay. Now what we will do, we'll go to the, you can see that the raw data has appeared here. I will just, for time being, I will just delete this. Okay. Now the LED state is on currently. So what I will do, I will just change it to the off, capital off. All letters are in capital. Just I will just check the code. It is off. I will press on, and before hitting enter, just check. I will hit. I'm going to hit the enter. See, light has turned off, and after that we have put the raw data. And after that, what we will do, we'll just turn it on again. I will hit enter again. See, light is currently off. It is turned on. What will happen if I again write on? It will not change anything. It will be still on. I will make it off. See, on. Okay. Okay. So this is about today's lecture, today's session. So we will, I will end the session to now, and we will go for the question and answer session. I am only getting on in my serial window. Please change your mobile hotspot or the Wi-Fi, or check if you have entered the right credentials. If you have not entered the right credentials, it will not connect with your mobile hotspot or Wi-Fi. Please check with that. And even after changing the correct SSID and password, it is not connecting with your hotspot or Wi-Fi. Please change the device and see what happens. Yes, I'm going to share the code. No problem. What if there is string data on Firebase, but we mistakenly wrote get int? It will give error, or it will simply fetch the data value. It will not fetch the data value. It will not give any error. It may give empty string, empty data. If path is not available in Firebase, then what happens? If the path is not available, then you will not be able to fetch the data and the send the data. Means we are creating path, because the to say send the data, the first argument is obviously path. If you have not given any string path to that function, it will give error obviously. So only thing is remaining fetching. If there is no branches available on the real-time database of the JSON structure, you are not able to fetch any data back to the ESP8266. How to save data if internet connectivity or light goes off? See, what you can do, you can use EEPROM, the memory of ESP8266, to store or log your data time to time. So if you are updating data with a sensor, using a sensor, so you can store it in your EEPROM memory, but there is also limitation of EEPROM memory also. You cannot go beyond some limits of that memory. So can use the EEPROM memory to store data. And later, when light or internet gets back, you can fetch that data You can put it in queue and put continuously values and increase the index. Can you explain raw on and off? Okay, I'll just close it. See, I'm reading this data, and to understand, we have turned on this, operated this if loop. We have entered in this if loop. To check this only, I have put the raw. Okay, there is no other reason. Yeah, if I comment this, it will still work the same. There is no difference. To just understand from real-time database that we have entered in the if or the else if, we just have, I have just put this line. To comment this, it will work the same. No problem. When to start Android Studio session? Um, After this, we are going to learn UART protocol and how to collect data from PIC microcontroller to the ESP8266 and data from ESP8266 to the microcontroller. And after that, we are going to learn MIT App Inventor, how to build Android application using MIT App Inventor. And after that, we are going to go with the Android Studio. The sequence will be same as we already have discussed the first session in the overview. One more time, Siddharth, can you please tell me what to explain? Okay, this question, can you explain raw of that? Please write it again. What is one more time? Can you share the code, sir? Yes, I will share the code. Screen is not visible. Uh, yes, I will give Harshal. I will give some references to store your sensor data into EPROM memory of ESP8266. You can just go through the references. You will understand. Okay, sir. Any other questions? Please ask. How many types of data we can save? See, fundamentally, we can save four four data types. As I know, the very important are string, integer, float, and boolean. Boolean means true or false. These are very important, and you can send or fetch all of the four data types. I have not shown for the boolean data type, and just you can just use the Firebase. I will show for the boolean Firebase. Sorry, Firebase dot set bool, and same path and arguments are same with the this function also. And to receive it, you have to create one boolean data type data, assign it to get Firebase dot get bool. I have to provide the path. Okay, you will be able to receive a boolean data type. Sir, I use Firebase in my project with ESP. After few days, not get update data from my application that I have developed with MIT App Inventor. What is the problem? Check with the rules, database rules. Accidentally, they may have changed. See here, go to rules and check whether they are read. You have to put here true, TRUE, to write. This is the you are giving access to your real-time database to real-time sorry, to MIT App Inventor app. So make it sure that it is true and true, and just publish it. Okay, you are giving reading and writing access. And even if you are not able to read and fetch the data, send and fetch the data, there must be some problem with the bucket. There is one option in MIT App Inventor. When you click on the Firebase experimental, there is one option called bucket. You have to make sure that the bucket and the path are correct. So that is the reason maybe. Okay. In the MIT App Inventor, we are going to cover this. Don't worry. Thanks, I connected my router and it's connected. Yes, sir. You can explain more about fingerprint of Firebase. See, fingerprint is used to authenticate with the server. Means we are sending data to Firebase cloud. We are trusting that. We are creating that trust. Okay. So this is about just creating trust. We are using that for creating trust purpose. And what Firebase does, what Google does, they will change periodically this fingerprint key for security purposes. Okay, so you have to make sure that you are updating your fingerprint key from the libraries you have used periodically with the Google. If the Google changes it, you have to change it. There is also one option that you do not have to change this fingerprint every time. So you can use, there is one library called the same library with the features, some advanced features we have not included in the sessions. I'll just show you how to write do know Firebase master. And previously what we did, we installed this library from the this Git repository. You have to install this library and use this library if you don't want to update fingerprint key every time. So this is Mobit's Firebase. Okay, you have to install it. You can find the documentation related to this library in the this GitHub repository. Okay. Any other questions? If there are no any other questions, I will end the today's session. Okay. I will end today's sessions as there are no more questions. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.